You were taught to follow the rule book like a prayer. Line up, wait your turn, explain your intention, seek approval, obey the clock, thank the gatekeepers for stopping you, and smile so they'll let you try again tomorrow. That script works in classrooms and corridors designed to domesticate you. It wins you gold stars, polite emails, and temporary access to rooms where decisions have already been made. But step back and look at the landscape of your life. Who advances when stakes turn real? Not the man who quotes policy under pressure. Not the crowd that chants, "Be patient," while the window closes. The people who rise are the ones who run a different operating system altogether. They don't live by sheep rules. They run a wolf strategy. This isn't about cruelty. It isn't about teeth and blood. It's about geometry. Groups chase comfort. Predators chase position. The flock worships rules. The wolf worships leverage. The flock pursues approval. The wolf pursues inevitability. The litmus test is simple. When pressure rises, do you reach for a rule to protect you, or do you build a position that makes the rule irrelevant? If your first reflex is to narrate your good intentions to the nearest authority, you are grazing. If your first reflex is to quietly change the conditions so the board tilts toward you, you are hunting. The first hard truth is this: most rules do not protect you. They protect the system from you. They crystallize average behavior so the machine can predict payroll and avoid fires. That's why the most obedient people spend their lives in the middle of the herd, safe, praised, and forgettable. Rules are designed to prevent catastrophe, not to produce greatness. Greatness begins where rules end, in the territory of timing, framing, scarcity, information flow, and silence. The wolf doesn't argue with the map. He claims high ground and watches the map redraw itself around him. You can feel the difference in your body. Under sheep rules, your pulse spikes when someone with a badge frowns. Under wolf strategy, your pulse slows because you trained yourself to recognize the small levers that move everything else. You stop announcing your effort. You begin arranging the field. Effort wins applause. Arrangement wins power. The flock believes fairness controls fate. The wolf believes leverage composes fate. You don't need to become cold to move like this. You need to become precise. Precision is not meanness. It is respect for the consequences of sloppy motion. Sheep run because running feels like progress. Wolves walk because walking places each foot where pressure will be most expensive for the enemy. Most people never practice that stillness. They were taught to prove themselves instead of positioning themselves. They were taught to be visible instead of being vital. Visibility is sweet. Vitality is heavy. The world pays for heavy. If you feel resistance already, if some gentle voice inside you is whispering that rules are how good people keep order, calm it with a sharper truth. Wolves with ethics become guardians. Wolves without ethics become problems to be solved. You will have a code. You will sharpen it until it cuts both ways. Protect the absent. Don't lie. Price reality. Confess error once, then ship the fix. Reward truth early. Make promises few and keep them all. That code lets you run without ripping yourself apart. Sheep rules ask for endless smiles. Your code will ask for few words and exact ones. Look closely at your ordinary week. Pay attention to the shape of your attention. Do you begin your day swallowing the panic of someone else's feed? Do you accept every quick sync, every small favor, every "can you just?" because rules told you to be a team player and niceness promised safety? That is how people are domesticated. They are trained to equate responsiveness with relevance, and they spend years sprinting between pings as if urgency were the same as importance. The wolf strategy opens your phone slower. It sets pace before touching other people's pace. It chooses two non-negotiables, formats the day so those two things happen, and refuses to pay the guilt tax for protecting them. That single act, selecting territory before reacting, separates the necessary from the consumed. There are forces more fundamental than rules that the wolf strategy uses like tools. Learn them, and the board starts playing back. The first is territory. Territory is not a map, it is a lever. A piece of the world where whoever owns it sets the price for everyone else. Distribution is territory. The email list that reaches buyers without a platform's permission. Territory. Data that reveals where risk lives before it explodes. Territory. Compliance knowledge that lets a project pass review while the competitor's slides gather dust. Territory. Decision cadence is territory too. The calendar windows where you decide, not where you beg. Claim one patch and defend it until even your enemies must pass through you. Visibility can be stolen. Territory must be taken and then maintained. Sheep crave cameras. Wolves build gates. The second is sequence. The flock measures life in units of effort. The wolf measures it in order of operations. One move at the right moment is worth more than 100 before it or after it. You gather asymmetry first. Information others don't have. Allies others can't ask. Timing others won't wait for. Then you make a quiet move that locks the door behind you. People call it luck afterward because they didn't see the part where you waited while they panicked, trained while they posted, and moved once when it counted. Try this once in a small space. Decline 3 meetings, write 1 page that closes 10 loops, send it on your decision day, and watch what happens. The room will treat you like you shouted when all you did was sequence. The third is scarcity. Scarcity is not arrogance, it is gravity. Sheep rules tell you to be available to win favorites. The wolf strategy makes access cost something, not to harm people, but to create rhythm. Rhythm is how you become legible to grown adults under pressure. You reply inside windows, you accept work in slots. You make decisions on a cadence. You never let chaos use your responsiveness as a resource. Scarcity ennobles generosity. When you say yes, it matters. When you praise, it lands. Your yes becomes expensive and therefore respected. Professionals call this reliability. Amateurs call it ego because they want you pliable. The fourth is framing. Sheep argue inside whatever frame they're handed. Wolves name the game and set its categories before the first number appears. That price fits a pilot. We're scoping a rollout. Do you want the pilot price or the rollout price? You are not being tricky. You are placing reality next to labels that respect it. Framing is the difference between being the defendant at your own trial and being the judge who clarifies which law applies. The room resents you for an afternoon. Then it sleeps. That is your job. Make room sleep. The fifth is silence. Silence is not absence. Silence is pressure applied to the right place. Most people fill discomfort with words because they fear being misread. The wolf understands that silence forces other people to finish their own thought. Ask a clean question. What would make this fail in week 3? And then stop. 3 beats of quiet will reveal more truth than your kindness ever did. Use pause as an instrument. Every extra sentence you add to soften your line cuts its tensile strength in half. Steel becomes ribbon at the speed of an apology. The 6th is edges. Edges are not cruelty. They are the banks of a river. Without banks, a river is a flood that ruins everything it touches. Your standards are those banks. We do not discuss scope during delivery. We don't respond to non-urgent messages after 7. We decide on Thursdays. We don't accept unfunded risk. They bite because promises bleed where edges are soft. Enforce once in public and pay the cost. Enforce twice and watch the cost drop. Enforce 3 times and the room will repeat your rule to new people before you arrive. That's not dominance. That's culture. The 7th is consequence. Complaints do not move systems. Consequences do. When someone violates your standard, you remove access. When a partner makes a habit of last-minute asks, you raise the price for urgency, or you don't staff urgency at all. You are not punishing. You are repricing reality so that choices stop being cheap. Systems learn faster from lost privilege than from long emails. The flock gossips about fairness. The wolf reorganizes incentives. That's not cynicism. It's adulthood. If all this sounds severe, remember the promise. The wolf strategy makes you more humane where it matters and less perforated everywhere else. You will apologize more rarely because you will cause less damage. You will be kinder with your people because your energy will no longer be siphoned by strangers who think your happiness is public property. You will be softer in the right rooms because you will be steel in the rooms that used your softness as a handle. Let's enter a scene. Your inbox is a theater of panic. Quick favor? 5 minutes? Can we hop on a call? Sheep rules say yes fast to feel useful. The wolf strategy tests the clock. What breaks if we do this Thursday? 90% of emergencies evaporate. The 10% left is where your teeth belong. Those 10% are the reason you keep spare capacity, so you can pounce when it actually matters. Busy people are rarely necessary. Necessary people are rarely out of breath. Another room. The client who flatters to control you. You're amazing. You're one of us. We just need a tiny extension and 2 premium features. The sheep smiles and swallows the scope. The wolf smiles once and points at the clause. All additions route to phase 2 or reprice at the same unit rate we agreed. Which do you prefer? The request moves out of the fog and into a system that charges reality. The manipulator's leverage dissolves because light dissolved it. Explanations would have fed the fog. Systems starve it. A third scene. The team that worships hustle. They love your late-night replies. They love your flexible weekends. They love your bottomless patience. They also keep missing because the culture rewards adrenaline and punishes architecture. You kill the dopamine loop. Decisions on Thursdays. No non-urgent messages after 7. Postmortems without blame. Rule changes without delay. Scope in the doc, not in chat. 3 options per decision. 1 recommendation. Defaults clear. At first you are called rigid. In 2 sprints, the respiration rate of the room slows. In 2 quarters, the company is unrecognizable. Your edges were oxygen they didn't know how to ask for. You need a diagnostic to know which code you've been living by. Listen to your mouth under stress. Sheep language says, just circling back, quick ask, sorry to bother, no worries if not. Wolf language says, here's how this works. Options A, B, or C. Recommend B. I decide on Thursdays. Not available for that scope. We move it to phase 2 or remove X now. One vocabulary bleeds, the other binds. Bleeding feels kind until you pass out. You also need a map for the day after you quit the flock. The pasture will punish you for leaving. Invitations shrink. Smiles cool. The rumor floats. You changed. Wear it. Changed means you stopped subsidizing other people's indecision with your energy. Changed means your yes now means something because your no does. Changed means you are building a life where gratitude arrives as peace, not noise. Let's get mechanical. You want speed without sloppiness. Here's a wolf strategy protocol you can run for the next 14 days without telling anyone you're doing it. Day 0. Write your code on 1 page, 10 lines. What you always do, what you never do. No adjectives, no therapy. A code is not a mood, it's a spine. Post it where you work. You don't need to announce it. You need to enforce it. Day 1. Claim decision territory. I decide on Thursdays after finance. That one sentence kills half your whiplash. When a demand arrives on Tuesday, it encounters your rhythm and becomes air. Your rhythm is not performance, it's physics. Day 2. Build a 1-page process that turns fog into rails. Scope, acceptance, change, escalation, cadence. 1 page. Numbers in a table. Checkboxes for decisions. Links to docs. When the first, just this once appears, you point at the rail. It costs you a small argument now. It saves you weeks later and a reputation forever. Day 3. Cut unpaid niceness. Audit your last 20 yeses, which produced 0 leverage, 0 learning, 0 loyalty. Kill them. Replace each with 1 yes that hardens a system or deepens a relationship with memory. You will feel selfish. That feeling is detox from a drug that made you sweet and weak. Day 4. Install silence. Choose 3 moments where you would normally add an apologetic sentence. Don't. Count 5 heartbeats in your head. Let the quiet turn the air into a mirror. Watch who calibrates. Watch who panics. That data is the new map of who can run with you and who can only hold you back. Day 5. Create default choices for your most abused boundary. 3 packages, 1 recommendation. 3 timelines, 1 sane. 3 risk profiles, 1 adult. Offer them, then stop narrating. Adults prefer menus to monologues. Day 6. Write a contingency that prices uncertainty. If we deliver A by day 21, fee is X. If dependency B slips, timeline auto extends 2 weeks without penalty. You turned fear into math and removed 3 future arguments. That's what wolves do to chaos. They give it a bank account. Day 7. Make your absence informative. Leave early. Don't warn the building. What pings you? What collapses? Those are the dependencies to remove. Necessary people can remove themselves without the system dying. Then they return and remove one more weak beam. Freedom is engineered, not gifted. Day 8. Put the next outcome on a calendar in public. Ship it the exact day without fanfare. Rhythm is how rooms learn your gravity. Applause is how rooms try to control you. Rhythm beats applause every day of the week. Day 9. Enforce one edge in public, cleanly, without performance. The first enforcement costs more than the violation. Pay it. The second costs less. The third is free. After that, the room repeats your rule for you. You've crossed the river without burning the bridge. Day 10. Rewrite 3 long explanations as 2-sentence policies. Replace because with we do. Replace sorry with not available. Replace hope you understand with here are the options. Policies scale. Explanations sell your spine for someone else's comfort. Day 11. Replace one meeting with one memo that could replace 5. The memo has a problem, 3 options, 1 recommendation, risks, costs, and a decision checkbox. Send it, then leave. You just brought the table instead of asking for a seat. Day 12. Tell one hard truth without theater. We will miss Friday unless we remove this feature. No, oh my God. No, I hate to say this. No, I know everyone worked so hard. Math, consequence, choice, watch competence lean in and incompetence leak out. Day 13. Say no with no padding once. Not a maybe later, not a let me see. A clean, cold, honest, no thanks. You will feel a memory of childhood rise up to accuse you. Let it talk, do not feed it. That ghost cannot run your calendar anymore. Day 14. Rest without apology. Do not post why you are resting. Do not justify your absence. Do not preemptively heal the feelings of people who will never buy your peace back for you. Return and put your hand on the lever that moves the most for the least. That is your territory. Every day after this will feel more like yours and less like a stage. People will call this manipulative because they confuse manipulation with architecture. Manipulation lies about reality to make people move. Architecture reveals reality, so people have no choice but to move. You will choose architecture. You will speak less, mean more, decide slow, act clean, publish rhythm, not need. You will become a place instead of a person to be pinged. A place has rules. A place has gravity. A place has memory. People respect places even when they gossip about people. The moment you stop narrating and start formatting, your world will reorganize. Meetings end faster because there are fewer surfaces for confusion to grip. Partners show up prepared because your boundaries punished last-minute theater. Clients stop asking for freebies because those one last things go to phase 2 at the unit price. Your team stops living in adrenaline because the cadence you protect gives them a spine. Your enemies stop gossiping because paper replaced feelings. Your friends become rarer, deeper, quieter. The air changes. The hum begins. There is a cost. You will be misunderstood by those who loved your explainable version. You will be accused of arrogance by those who preferred your permeability. You will be resented by those who benefited from your predictable speed. You will pay these prices once. Then the people who remain will be the ones your future requires. Adults with edges, hands steady under stress, eyes for truth, taste for systems, loyalty to outcomes instead of drama. That's a pack, not a crowd. Crowds eat you. Packs carry you. You will finally know the difference. Under sheep rules, you measure yourself by applause. Under wolf strategy, you measure yourself by alignment. Did I keep my code today? Did I move the lever that moves the most? Did the system hold without explanation? Did I make truth cheaper in this room? Those are the questions of someone who has stopped performing and started building. Applause feels good. Alignment feeds you. Hungry men are loud. Built men are quiet. Choose quiet. If guilt still claws at you, if some learned reflex insists you must earn love with softness, hear this clearly. Goodness without edges creates parasites. Edges without goodness create tyrants. Be both. Clean standards and warm eyes. Protect the absent and prosecute the problem. Apologize for harm and never for boundaries. Praise publicly with receipts. Correct privately with respect. Tell the truth early and then enforce the rule that truth demanded. That combination does not make you feared for cruelty. It makes you necessary for sanity. And necessary people get to be kind without being harvested for it. You don't have to announce a new identity. You only need a sentence you can carry like a blade when the old reflex tries to reclaim you. Here it is. I don't graze. I hunt position. Whisper it when a meeting tries to rent your afternoon. Whisper it when flattery tries to purchase your night. Whisper it when your thumb hovers over an apology you don't owe. Then act in a way that makes the sentence true. Build the rail, hold the silence, price the urgency, decide on Thursday, deliver on time, disappear by design. Ask yourself the only question that matters. Are you using the wolf strategy or sheep rules? Listen, not to your slogans, but to your day. If your life is a museum of exceptions, you're still grazing, explaining boundaries, negotiating with bullies, sprinting for deadlines no one can name, taking compliments as payment for exhaustion, measuring yourself by how many people are glad you exist. If your life is becoming a series of clean rails and calm rooms, you've begun to hunt position, building systems, establishing cadence, enforcing consequence, reducing surfaces for chaos, measuring yourself by how inevitable your outcomes feel. You don't need to be ruthless to leave the flock. You need to be allergic to dependence, immune to flattery, suspicious of urgency that has no external clocks, bored by drama that doesn't change the map, and loyal to a code that keeps you whole when the crowd demands pieces. The pasture will still be there, loud and warm, offering you a soft place to sleep in exchange for your teeth. Smile. Keep walking. They'll call you cold. You'll be winter. Winter makes wolves honest and forests strong. In spring, even the flock will thank you, quietly in their bones, because the path you cleared leads somewhere the handbook never promised. The wolf didn't break the rules. He built a world where he didn't need them.